Welcome to Flash CS5 Tutorial 48 Board Game Zipline Part 2. It's a follow-up to Flash CS5 Tutorial 47, which was Zipline Part 1, and that's what I have opened on my computer now. I'm going to go through each of my 3 frames on my action script and completely remove any traces. There's none there. And by that I mean even these ones that are commented out. I'm going to just take and delete them all, and then I'll continue. Make sure Zipline layer is unlocked. Select the second frame, and let's one at a time open these up. Click on this first line here. It opens that movie clip. Call this layer line. Insert a layer. Call it action script. And put a stop in this. Select the first frame and put a stop in there. Up above frame 31-ish, insert a blank keyframe, and in there put this code. Movie clip, capital M, capital C, open bracket, parent, P-A-R-E-N-T, close bracket, period, go to and stop, capital A, capital S, open bracket, in quotations, go up, capital G, capital U, close quotation, close bracket, semicolon. And insert another blank keyframe, this time a blank keyframe, and put a stop in there. Select this last frame of this line layer, insert a keyframe, and put in every 4 or 5 frames, make it a keyframe, insert keyframe, and we'll do one more, insert keyframe. Pull this up. When it's up here, we want the line to be complete, so let's go back to this keyframe, pick up the eraser tool, and erase a little bit off it. Now I'm holding my finger where it ends, so I'll know for the next keyframe. Take off that, plus a little more. Go back here, take off that, what I took off, plus a little more. I'm using my finger to guide me. Take off that, go back a little more, and on this last, or which is really the first keyframe, all I want is just a small piece of that there. Oops. I want a small piece. Took too much off that time. There. That's what I want. Make sure this has something in it. This is shaded. Now before we leave this, click here. Right click, copy those frames. Back to scene 1. Pick up your selection tool. Let's see, there's that one we just did. And let's do this one here. Double click on it. We're inside this movie clip. Call this layer line, L-I-N-E. Insert a layer. Now you can just right click on this first frame of this layer and paste the frames, and that will come in. This line is longer, so let's highlight these two and drag them up a little bit, give it a little more time. Click, insert a keyframe, and I'm going to do the same here on this one and this other line, and then I'll come back. I have my 3 movie clips done. Going back to scene 1, and I'm just going to check to make sure while I got this layer selected, and make sure that that movie clip, these have instance names. I'm sure they did. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now what we want to do is go back to each movie clip one at a time and write down or somewhere note the start, we know here at the starts there's a 40, there's a 5 and a 30, but now we don't know where they finish. So open movie clip 1, and if you put it up on, oops, that's not the way to do it. Go back to scene 1. Open this movie clip here, double click on it. It's movie clip 1, so you want to write that, movie clip 1. We know it starts at 40 and it goes up to 84. Okay, so you do that for the other ones, and in my case I know that this one that starts at 5 goes up to 37, and I know this one that starts at 30 goes up to 94. So you want to write that down somewhere. And now lock that layer, all the layers, unlock this squares layer, make sure you have frame 2 selected, and those 6 movie clips, 40, 5, 30, 37 in my case, 84 and 94, give them that instance name. So I'll just do one with you. Highlight this one, 40, modify it, convert it to a symbol, call it SQ40 underscore MC, copy it, right click, copy, okay, and while it's selected, come up here and paste in the instance name of the same thing, 5, and I'll be back. Okay, so if I looked at it now and I went and make sure I just got that one layer open, I should have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's my movie clips, and I know which ones are my start movie clips, so I want to change the color on them. So this number 40, I'm going to highlight it, open the properties panel, and under style I want the tint, and I want to make it a little more reddish color. There's what I'm going with. I got red 200 and tint that. So I want it for that one. I want it for my number 5. And I want it for my number 30. So I'll know that those are my points where I'm starting to go up. Lock all the layers and select layer 3, excuse me, frame 3 of the action script. Open the actions panel and come down where we have the reset button right here. Right in here. We're going to have a whole lot of things take place now. I'm typing, type, and I'm giving myself a little comment here, so 2 backslashes, and I'm calling this line number 1 going up. It's an if statement. If, open bracket, player 1 underscore MC, capital P, period, hit test object, open bracket, square 40 underscore MC, close bracket, close bracket. Now I'm not going to go through all these words, all the words. I'm just going to go quickly through them. Here's the open curly bracket for this if, the close curly bracket. We don't need these traces, so I'm just going to highlight them out for now. I used them when I was troubleshooting. But if this takes place, line 1 movie clip, that's that movie clip we just made, I want to go to and play frame 2. Because right now it stopped on frame 1, and once if the player lands on this square 40 and you hit the reset button, which would be the next person's turn, that line will move. Now you can come here, click, and copy this and paste it if you want, and the only thing you have to change is the 2 here. Everything else stays exactly the same, and this would have been commented out. Okay, so that's that one. So copy, click here, go right up to there, right click, copy all that, get down the bottom, paste it, and right here, there's that first line one up. It's this one here. This is going to be line 2 up. So line 2. And it's going to be square 30 in my case. Square 30 in my case. And line 2, oops, line 2 and line 2. That's the only changes we had to make. So now when the player 1 hits 30, he's going to start that line up. If player 2 hits 30, he'll do that line. Okay, we already have it copied, so if you haven't, we copy it, paste it again. This time it's going to be line 3. This will be 5. Movie clip 5. Movie clip 5. Line 3. And line 3. Let's go back to the main timeline. Right here under frame names, select frame 4, insert a blank keyframe, and remember we put that code go up, capital G, O, capital U, P. This is the frame it's going to go to, the go up frame. And let's click up here, insert a blank keyframe, click here, draw it right down and include the reset button, so it's all them there. Right click, insert keyframes. So now we have those keyframes brought up to frame 4. And we'll bring this text layer here up too. Insert a keyframe. Now it's time to put some action script in this frame 4 of the actions layer. So select that, open the actions panel, type, and again commented out line 1 up. This is that go up frame which we were directed to at the end of the line movie clip, sends us here, and this is what actually moves the man. So here's a test for TNIF test, and it's checking to see if player 1 has hit this square 40, which we know it has, and this is what we're going to do. Player 1 underscore MC period Y, so its Y axis is going to be the same as that of the top of the line, which is square 84 underscore MC period Y. That's why we had to make them movie clips. It's the same thing here, so you could just copy this line, paste it in here, and change these Y's to X's. And we also want to make sure that the line 1 movie clip is in a position to start over, so it's go to and stop back at frame 1. Close bracket. You copy this, paste it, player 1 becomes player 2. Player 1 becomes player 2, player 2, everything else stays the same. So now, to make it simple, come down here, copy everything, right click, copy it, go to the bottom, insert a couple lines, and paste it. This is going to be line 2 up. There was line 1 up. This is going to be commented out line 2 up. It's still going to be player 1, that's going to stay the same, but line 2 started at 30. So change that 40 to 30, and it goes up to 94. 94, 94, and it naturally is line number 2. So make the same changes down here for player 2. It's going to be 30. It's going to be 94, 94, and line 2. I think we got everything. Player 1, yes. Alright, we still have that copied, so 2 couple spaces, paste it again. This is going to be line 3. Line 3 starts at 5, so this is going to be a 5. And it goes up to 37. 37. 37. And it is line number 3. And let's come down here. This was 5. 37. And 37. And this is line number 3. And we would want to get back and roll again, so at the very bottom of this, type this piece of code in, type, go to and stop, open bracket, in quotations, roll, that's that frame 3, close bracket, semicolon, and I think we're in a position to try this. Test movie, something should happen. No errors so far, that's good. I'm going to roll. Now forget what it rolls for now, because that's not something we're going to solve. But let's say it rolled a 5, it did. And what should happen is it should go up. There's the zip line, and it went up to there. And now it's number 2's trying. Now let's say number 2 was somewhere else and ended up here. Zoom, he should go up the zip line. And let's try another one. It's number 1's turn. Let's say he was here. Boom, he'd go up the zip line. Up to 94. Let's do one more. Let's say 2 was here. See if he'll go the same place. Okay. Now, when they're both together like that, it's really hard to grab this number 1 when it's number 1's turn. Number 1 should go now. You gotta just grab it. So you might end up making that a little longer. And let's see if that scoots up. Yeah, good. I think that's enough for now. One more tutorial and this will be finished. It'll be tutorial 49, board game, zip line, part 3. So if you plan on doing the part 3, save this FLA. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learn.